The secret of the monasteries has been at all times life in a sanctuary purifies, elevates, and sanctifies. We take advantage of this experience and recognize a physical building is not required. When you are living in the vibration of a sacred place, the craving for alcohol, meat, cigarettes, or chocolate, moods like irritability, aggression, or depression, and ugly words or unworthy deeds do not come up at all. The inner temple is the way out for today's torn-up people longing for a purer life. You remember, subtle beings are always nearby. When you create a room of purity and solemnity within yourself, according to the law of correspondence, you attract higher subtle creatures and ward off evil visitors from the lower layers of the astral world. How can man create mentally when he is even unable to imagine a desirable environment for himself? How can he think of the refinement of forms when he never pictures them in thought, thus trying to make his surroundings worthy of higher beings? When we say, in the inner temple heaven is close, that also means, as in a church, beings from higher spheres of the spiritual world are present in such a way that you can contact them. If you come ever closer to the subtle world, if you become so sensitive that you feel the otherworldly reality, you will one day be able to communicate in spirit with your soulmates, your true brothers and sisters up there, in the same way as Jesus with Moses and Elias in the state of transfiguration. Earthly fortresses are no more stable than castles made of sand. Real security can only be obtained in the world of the spirit. Dead are those who presume that by means of earthly Maya they can create strongholds. It is as unwise as children dreaming to build a fortress out of mud. Only the world of spirit is truly strong, for it is indestructible and invincible. Never will you have to leave the inner monastery. The temple in your heart is unassailable and indestructible. The drama of Tibet with the destruction, or of Europe with the secularization of the monasteries, does not threaten you. Whatever happens to your body, your soul can never be driven out of its paradise. The monastery within is the one and only secure foundation of your life. You have your roots in this invisible world. On it you rest. From it you draw your strength. Urusvati has overcome all the earthly misconceptions about safety and material security neither exists in earthly conditions. Yet this dark mirage seduces multitudes of people. They dream of building towers where they might be sheltered in complete safety. They dream of accumulating treasures that would provide security, forgetting that they can reach such a stronghold only beyond earthly conditions. For the new man, who is a being of spirit, the place or the order in which he is protected and safe is not on earth, but in the other world. Man should remember that his true stronghold is not on earth, and that all his earthly labors should be performed for return to the supermundane stronghold. Or, in other words, within himself. The heart is the stronghold of the hero. The heart of the Achat is a sacred stronghold which guards the sacred gift of the cosmos. You must never give up this ultimate security, this only reliable refuge. This painting by Nicholas Roerich is called Stronghold of the Spirit. The title expresses two things. The spirit needs a home in the spiritual world, and security can be found only there. You feel you have to get away from the distress and misery of the world, from the insolence, selfishness, and ruthlessness of the people living there. People can struggle with base astral entities only when they are firm in their understanding of their own future path. Their passing into the higher spheres will then be easier, and they will not feel the arrows of the dwellers of the lower astral plane. Every now and then you have to get out of the unspiritual earthly sphere, with its temptations and primitive customs, its ignorance and impurity. You can and must create an inaccessible refuge in the middle of hostile territory, to which you can retreat at any time when conditions threaten to become unbearable. Many a one would like to announce to the world in the midst of trouble, "I am retiring to a monastery." You can satisfy this longing and take this step at any time. The strength, the superiority of the new man rests precisely on the fact that he is a lord of a castle who operates from an impregnable fortress far above the lowlands of the world. Seekers of achievement, I will set you above a precipice as on an inaccessible tower. On the path of the interior temple, you will find heavenly tranquility and heavenly peace in your true supermundane home. Here is your one and only salvation. The protection offered in former times by the monastery walls you are now building up around you with the help of a virtual room. Requiescat in pace. May you rest in peace. But not as the Christians think after death only, but already regularly during your earthly incarnation. Dwelling in the interior temple, your eternal individuality is not affected by the misery of the world. Once you get back up there, it is no longer any of your concern, as in heaven. You can find this peace and quietness only in your heart. This is the sole cure for today's torn-up men. Even a quiet outside place is of no use when you are restless within. If you are unable to find peace of mind within yourself, there is no point in looking for it elsewhere. The seeker should look upon his heart as a refuge. Not even escaping to a physical monastery guarantees you a calm and peaceful life. How many saints, for example, Bernadette of Lourdes and Thérèse of Lisieux, were tormented by small spirits even there? Is then the meaning of life to be left in peace and quietness? No, of course not. But when you are laboring tirelessly to fulfill your mission, you deserve and need some relaxation in between. Then you may take a rest and tune out completely for a moment from time to time, even several times a day, as on holidays in abroad, far away from the worries of everyday life. All the terrible troubles are endurable only because you know that you will soon be able to return to the higher world and draw new strength there. Make good use of the mountain air. Do not tire yourselves out. Even a diver must not descend when fatigued. Precisely, descent into human filth can be compared to a diver's work. The diver is ready to save a drowning person, but he himself is in need of access to air. In distress, you take refuge in a place where there is no oppression, in your heavenly realm. When our consciousness is completely transported into the domain where there is no fear and depression, then we are invulnerable to any filth. Your true self can rise above the awful conditions on earth at any time. Retreating to higher, purer spheres is a sure means to counter disgust with the world. Make conscious use of the possibilities of your being of spirit. Your soul can employ a moment of leisure to detach itself from earth and to pay a short visit to its homeland. Go for a walk in spirit in your Garden of Eden at every free minute. Our sisters and brothers often visit the subtle world in order to feel at home there. To be allowed to stay in heaven, even for a short time, is your greatest bliss. A time of happiness. Thus we call that step in the development of consciousness when, without turning away from life, our co-workers are given the opportunity to join us in our abode.